What is up with it? Welcome to the Underpaid Gamers podcast. I am Tony. I have commandeered this podcast from Justin. We're at my house right now, so I am introing it. This is Justin, sitting to my left.
Hi.
There he is. Today, we're going to talk about some things. I'll let you know about them. We're going to talk about Black Ops 3 that came out on Friday.
Which is part of the reason why I'm reluctant to be here today. He had to pull me away from Call of Duty Black Ops. I didn't want to leave my house. I wanted to stay in my dark room and keep playing that game.
We're going to talk about the Smash Tournament.
Ooh.
I have some news about the Fallout 4 map size, Halo World Champions. There's a video game museum I'll tell you about, and the new Heartstone expansion. So, without further ado...
And on top of that, I will be talking about some Star Wars news having to do with a new international trailer.
Justin has things to talk about, I guess.
And the...
Who would have guessed?
More Star Wars spoilers.
He didn't write it down on our notes. We have a good enough notes. He didn't write it down.
I don't need
as far
notes.
as I know, I'm the only one talking today.
Just play the music.
All right. All right.
So here we are, back from the song that is so good.
Yeah.
Tony, would you like to open us up with the news?
Sure. Well, here's the thing. We are recording on Monday, November 9th. Fallout 4 comes out tomorrow, November 10th. However, there's like a lot of streams
on
Fallout 4 right now. So this Fallout 4 map size news I have is kind of old. I got it at the beginning of the week, but I'll tell you about it anyway. Someone made a video of him walking from one corner of the map diagonally to the other corner of the map.
And how long did that take?
I believe it took about 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Oh, the video doesn't exist anymore. So, 10 minutes and 40 seconds, he says, from one side to the other side diagonally. If you're curious, Skyrim, well, in Fallout 4, he sprinted. He sprinted most of the way. Took about 10 minutes, 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Skyrim, with only walking, took a little over 2 hours. A Witcher 3 took over a little 2 hours to get from one corner to the next. I assume The Witcher is sprinting. I assume in Skyrim, it's specifically he was walking from one corner to the next.
It would take forever.
So
the mountains.
2 hours in Skyrim is a lot. 10 minutes in Fallout, not so much.
I don't think so.
However, I kind of like that because specifically in New Vegas, you had to like make a whole big U horseshoe shape to get back up to Las Vegas when we first start. Like, this is the longest trek in the world.
It's true.
So maybe a smaller, more dense map size will be good. I'm
going to withhold judgment on it. I mean, I'm sure the game has lots of content, so I'm not really worried about it. And
I'm sure there's ups and downs. There's verticality to it.
There's going to be some dungeons and some vaults you're probably going to go down into that have plenty of levels, so I'm not too worried about it. But we'll probably revisit that once we actually play the game.
Neither am I worried about it. I'll play it.
Yep.
Halo World Championship prize pool was slated at $1 million even. They opened it up.
$1 million.
They opened it up for some contributors, some viewers and players and whatever to contribute to it.
Yeah.
And now the prize pool is at $1.5 million. So people donated $500,000. But it's still going up.
That's a lot of money.
So I think it's the most money there's been in a Halo tournament ever.
Sign me up.
So obviously, if they opened this up earlier, they would have gotten more and more money.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that like people will pay to watch this, and they'll pay to you can watch it for free, but they like to be a part of it and actually donate money.
They'll pay to make it happen.
Right.
They'll contribute.
Like the Green Bay Packers is the only publicly owned team, and look how many people love the Packers.
Lots of people. My roommate.
Like 1 in every 3 people love the Packers for whatever reason. You could be in Florida and be like, "Go Pack, go!" Like, shut up.
I'm not even from there.
I'm not against the Packers.
I don't know anybody who's... Well, no, there are definitely people who are against the Packers. I'm not against the Packers.
But why?
But I'm also not generally for the Packers. It's just one of those things where I kind of like Aaron Rodgers.
I like Aaron Rodgers. That's what I was going to say.
He's a cool guy. His commercials are funny.
He looks really familiar.
He's like one of those guys.
He has that face.
He does.
There's a video game museum.
Video game museum! I'm going. I'll be the curator of that museum, please.
It's a National Video Game Museum.
One of the exhibits are you walk up to a TV and you start playing the game. Like, it takes you through, like, the evolution of gaming, and then they just have, like, examples. And so you just, like, walk up and you can, if you, like, you know how, like, the Children's Museum or, like, any sort of, like, kids museum.
Time out. The last time I went to the Children's Museum, they had an N64.
See, boom. See, is the whole museum going to be just stations of games?
First of all, that was a very long time ago.
Yep. Not, I mean,
that was the point of that. Not the fact that they had an N64.
I'm waiting
for another. That the last time they had an N64. That the N64 was the thing to have.
To my knowledge, it's still the thing to have.
Sure. That pod racing game.
Dude, it's legit. With the Rumble Pack?
Super hard. There's an ice level that's really hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, National Video Game Museum is going to be in Frisco, Texas. It will open its doors for the first permanent home next month. So instead of moving around all over the place, it's finally stationed somewhere. There's a replica 1980s arcade with a console history timeline, stuff like that. So that could be fun. So it's been going for 25 years, but now it's officially sitting down somewhere. So that's fun.
Cool.
Heartstone.
Heartstone.
A game that both of us have enjoyed playing in the past.
Pull up a chair next to the hearth.
Hearthstone. Some people call it Hearthstone,
which is not correct.
I'm like, you're insane.
Do you not know how to speak English?
Or listen to the guy that announces it.
Or listen to the guy who announces it. You are
correct. Hearth. Some people say Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. I've heard of Hearthstone.
Hearth.
It's definitely hearth. It's like
the fireplace is a hearth.
It's the hearth. It's like you go to an inn and then you're playing your friends at a card game next to the hearth of the fire. That's the point.
Like you would in The Witcher 3 when you play Gwent.
You are all about Gwent, sir.
I am. Anyway, new expansion comes out November 12th, so that's very soon.
It is.
It's a wing system, like Naxxramas and Blackrock Mountain.
Okay, so is it going to be a full set of cards, or is it just going to be like the rewards? Is it going to be like 12 rewards for like the 12 different levels or something?
I think it might just be. Can you give me a second? I'll tell you how many cards there are.
Okay.
Let's go with 50 for right now, and then I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But 50. Why don't you explain what the tiered wing system is, since you have experience, and I'll try to figure out how many cards.
The tiered wing system. By that, I think you mean the solo play adventures?
Yeah.
So the solo
45 cards.
The solo play adventures.
45 cards in total.
Are these little expansions in solo play. So if you get tired of playing multiplayer, you can play these creative bosses that Blizzard has come out with that have unique special abilities that you don't find elsewhere in the game. And you can play through and challenge all of those. And each time you defeat one of the bosses, you get a specialty card. Sometimes it's legendary. Sometimes it's just regular fun. But it's the only place you can get it is through defeating those bosses. So it's a lot. I find that it's a lot of fun, and it has some replay value too, because you can go back and do specific challenges on how to beat them, and unlock the golden versions of those cards and other specialty cards. So it's a fun system to do. I will say that sometimes I feel like I spend too much money for how quickly I go through it.
Yeah,
because I do finish them.
Do
usually
you ever do the expert? Expert is incredibly hard.
I do. Sometimes I go back through and do the challenges, like when it makes you pick between two decks and then you play one of the decks.
Well, the class challenges give you more cards too. Expert, you don't get any cards. You just do it for prestige, I guess. But you do it for a challenge.
Yeah. But so 45 new cards, Hearthstone expansion. On top of that, news would be some Star Wars footage from the international trailer. It aired in Japan, I believe, or Korea.
I think it was Japan.
I think it said Japan, but I read a comment saying that it was in Korean. I don't know. Either way, who trusts YouTube comments? Apparently I do. I probably shouldn't. That's a bad place to go. If there's one place on the internet that is a black hole of negativity and grossness, it is, first of all, 4chan. And then second off, YouTube comments. So anyways, new trailer drop. It has some new footage, mostly the same. I would say it probably has maybe 10 seconds of extra footage.
Really?
That's different.
I watched it, and I'm like, I've never seen any of this before.
No, it's like 10 seconds. Maybe 10 seconds.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not even kidding.
I have not seen very many trailers then.
I've watched all the trailers.
I'm like, what's this? That's new. Whoa,
maybe 15 seconds. Maybe.
How long was the trailer? Like a minute 30?
Yeah.
It's a good percentage. 15 seconds.
So it's things that shows it's important. Not much really, but you did get a really cool scene with a bunch of TIE fighters and a sunset behind them. That was kind of cool.
Reminiscent of that Vietnam movie. I'll tell you Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now?
I think.
Maybe.
Or Full Metal Jacket.
One or the other.
I don't know. There's Blackhawks coming at you like that.
Either way.
I'll look it up. I'll just Google Black Hawk Sunset.
That's a good idea. So on top of that, the only for sure big picture...
Black Hawk Sunset, 4:51 p.m.
Black Hawk Sunset.
That's a sunset. That's the time of sunsets in Black Hawk, Colorado. I guess.
How informative for our listeners.
Not what I was looking for. Google.
The other big Star Wars news that dropped, which I have neglected to tell Tony to this point.
So I could have a visceral reaction.
So an honest-to-God reaction is that a last name has dropped for one of the new Star Wars characters, one of the new cast members.
Okay. A cast member or a character?
A character.
Because I would assume you knew the cast members' last names.
Yes.
Okay, hit me with it.
Are you ready? Finn Calrissian.
Huh? What does that mean? Oh! Lando's son!
Yeah! Not what I expected. I thought when I first read the title of the news, it said last name dropped. I thought, they did all of the characters, which then I was hoping would validate my theory.
That they're twins?
That, yes, Rey and Kylo Ren are twins, or at least brother and sister.
Yeah.
And both Solos / Skywalker. So...
Alright, so...
A little bit... I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm not really that impressed. I'm also not really that excited about it. I mean, Calrissian's a cool character and all, and I'm sure he's going to make an appearance in one of the movies because he's still alive, but...
Okay, I can't remember. Did Leia ever meet Lando?
Yes, because he tried to, schmooze her.
So now his son gets a chance at her daughter?
Perhaps. Round 2.
Oh, gosh.
Woof. So that's kind of exciting. So they're going to have to play off that.
So who's his wife?
I don't know.
Jar Jar? Nope.
Please say no. I mean, I didn't see any crazy tongue or weird eyes. So
how do they work for the Empire? Like father, like son, I guess.
I mean, that's true. But Lando, he did, but he didn't. He was kind of forced in that situation. I don't know.
He gave up. He wasn't friends with Han Solo.
Yeah, he was.
Han won the Falcon from him.
Dude,
the
Falcon, right? And he called him Han and the Falcon.
And I watched the movies recently. I don't know if I told you that. I watched all 3 of them.
Yeah.
In a row. Return of the Jedi was awful.
I love Return of the
Jedi. But frequently they would call Leia Leia.
And they would call Han Han.
Han, and then
we got to give Han more time.
Falcon and Falcon.
Yeah.
Those are 2 different letters.
Right.
So what is it called?
Millennium Falcon.
Millennium Falcon.
Take it from Han Solo. Take it from Han.
Okay.
I should just keep calling him Han because I think you're getting annoyed from it. Maybe. Han Solo.
Some people in other countries call him Han, while we call him Han.
Well, he does introduce himself as Han Solo, pilot of Captain of the Millennium Falcon.
Falcon.
Does he say Falcon?
He says Falcon.
He might in A New Hope.
I think he only refers to it as the Falcon, where everyone else calls it the Falcon.
Maybe. You might be right. I don't think I have enough information.
I'm generally right.
That's not even true.
Anyway, so I have some news about Black Ops 3. And then
3.
we can talk about Black Ops 3.
Which is the point.
We can have news about Black Ops 3, talk about Smash Summit real quick, and then hit it back up with Black Ops 3.
But do you like an Oreo approach?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm cool with that.
Okay. So, Black Ops 3 released on Friday the 6th. A lot of people were streaming it on Thursday the 5th. A lot of people got it early, for whatever reason. And I looked, MLG, as we have talked about, because I talked about competitive gaming, MLG is the platform where Optic, who is arguably the most popular competitive Call of Duty team, streams on MLG.
Yep.
A lot of people are trying to go back to Twitch to get better viewers.
Which has been a topic we've discussed before.
Yes. I saw a post on Reddit At around 5:00 p.m. on Thursday, November 5th, Twitch had 172,000 viewers watching Black Ops 3. MLG had 8,000 viewers watching Black Ops 3. And
you got to go to where the people are.
The people streaming were Crim6, who was a Optic Gaming personality, and Karma, who was an Optic Gaming personality.
Yep.
Scump, who is probably the most popular competitive Optic Gaming member, had just started streaming at that time, so I don't think this is updated for his numbers. But he's not bringing in 100,000 viewers.
Right.
So another competitive guy on Twitch that was streaming was TP, who's my favorite person that plays competitively.
I did not know
for
that.
whatever reason. Tyler Polchow.
Whoa. I thought PPMD was your favorite.
He plays Smash.
But he plays competitive games.
Teep is my favorite Call of Duty person.
Okay, thank you.
PPMD is my favorite Smash person.
There you go.
So MLG had 8.6 thousand, so 8,600. Teep by himself had 5,000 viewers.
Wow.
Which is a lot
that is,
for one person.
Quite a few.
So it kind of just shows that Twitch destroyed MLG.
You know, you just got to, when it comes to online things, you just got to go where the people are.
Right.
Because it's hard to be found.
Yes.
When you're new.
Tell me.
I know. That is the story of our life.
So that happened. That's just an MLG versus Twitch thing. I found that interesting. The race, there's always, for like the past 4 years, there's been a race to prestige at I think it's at the Streamer House. It's normally Jericho, T. Martin, Hutch, Ernest Lee, and Vern. The only person I watch out of that is Hutch. I like to watch Hutch a lot.
Yeah.
But the race to prestige is generally, there used to be just this big race to see who could get to prestige first throughout like the globe.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a 24-hour stream for 4 days. It's kind of changed from what it is now. It's no longer a race to see who can get there first. It's a 24-hour stream for 4 days. This one was actually taking donations. I can't remember what the donation fund was. I'll look it up real quick. Oops.
Was it for like a charity?
It was a charity. It was to help veterans get careers once they came back.
Oh, cool.
So war veterans.
I can get behind that.
Or military veterans. Activision. Well, actually, Vonderhaar was on stream at the race. Like, I think they had the race at like Activision headquarters or something.
Oh, yeah.
So Vonderhaar was there. He was talking. Vonderhaar is the creator of Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, for those who don't know. So again, 24-hour stream. Activision said they would match any number donated up to $500,000.
Wow.
So obviously, if someone donates $500,000, Activision is going to match that. That's $1 million donated.
That's awesome.
I remember I saw Hutch tweet about it. He said that within their first 12 hours, they had doubled what their goal was.
Wow. Impressive.
I'm going to look what it is. I'll get back to you.
You gotta love it when a community can get behind something good. You know, and I think that's something you see in professional sports a lot with the pink ribbons that they wear on the uniforms, and they have those big awareness campaigns. Each professional sport has. I think it's awesome that video game communities are moving in that direction too, because we've been a huge proponent on Underpaid Gamers for esports and the growing of that. We've been trying to chronicle that. We've spit some numbers out there, so if you haven't listened to that one yet, it's the Best Time to Be a Gamer podcast episode we released before. Kind of just dives into the numbers of esports, and so I think it's really awesome that the community of esports can get together, and game streaming and just the video game community can get together and work for a good cause. You know, I think that shows legitimacy to our movement, to the resistance, to us young people.
Okay, I found it.
Okay.
Not to cut you off. Well, kind of to cut you off.
Well,
it is the Call of Duty Endowment is what they call it, which is support of a program dedicated to placing veterans in high-quality jobs. So you got to donate to this, and this just talks about when it started, but essentially that's what it is. And then again, it says Activision will donate up to $500,000, which is a lot of money for something like that.
It is a lot of money, more money than I've ever seen.
I really like that they get to have the chance that, one, they're getting developer support for them like that.
Right.
Activision's hey, I see that you're doing this.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up, Activision.
And it's good for Activision because, one, their game is coming out. People see that Activision's doing this. They're
right.
Cool, Activision, you're cool. Then also they get all this free publicity.
And if you think about it, Call of Duty gets a really bad rep in like
Everywhere?
outside of the gaming world, even inside the gaming world, but like news stations, so like Fox News, probably like CNN, like they've showed all these stories about how Call of Duty video games,
Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto,
how they destroy the morality of our youth, and how they're just destroying people and like making violence not like desensitizing us to violence and making kids murder their parents and things. They come up with all these stories, so this is nice that it kind of fights against it, and it's kind of thematic with Call of Duty. Because Call of Duty is a war game where you play as a soldier, and they're helping out soldiers. So,
yep.
I think it's cool.
So that is cool.
We like it. 2 thumbs up.
Yes.
From Underpaid Gamers.
Yep. Well, 4 thumbs up, because there's 2 of us.
My thumbs were literally in the air. Yours were not.
Now they are, but they
Mine
weren't.
are in... His fingers are not up. Do not trust a word he says.
Okay. Smash Summit.
Tell me about it.
You tell me about it, because I brought this up to you, and I'm like, I bet you don't know about this. And you're like, I actually know about this. I'm like, what?
Okay, so Smash Summit happened. The only reason I'm starting to become more aware of the Smash community is because now I follow a couple of the
Who
bigger...
do you follow on Twitter? Toph?
And Hungerbox.
Hungerbox? Juan the Fatty?
And what's the guy?
Scar?
Huh?
Wife?
Scar.
PPMD?
Scar?
Mango?
No.
Mewtwo King?
No.
Armada?
I think I tried to follow all of them.
Crimson Blur?
I can't remember, though. Either way, in my Twitter this week, the last couple of days, I've been seeing a lot of posts with pictures.
D1?
Maybe. I don't remember. I have to look at my phone, and that's too much work.
Gosh.
So, anyways, it's a Smash Summit, meaning that it's a small group of gamers, and by the gamers we mean the gods. Some of the best...
More than just the gods.
More than just the gods. Not just the gods, but some of the best Smashers came together into like a house, and I saw pictures, and it was nice. They had like a little kitchenette,
yep,
and all these little tables, and these really comfy chairs, and they just played Smash for like, 4 days, I think?
Yep.
So it looked like it was a good time. I saw pictures that they posted of like their lunch and good times together and selfies, and it just looked like this is what it looked like to me. It looked like friends came over to their house and they just played video games. The classic, let's all just come over and hang out and play some video games and chill and eat some pizza. Like that's what it looked like, except for it was the best Smashers ever, right. And it was crazy.
And it was a tournament.
Crazy multiplayer.
And it was a tournament.
Yeah. Which you can talk more about the tournament. I just know that it existed, which surprised Tony to no extent.
It did. It was at Beyond the Summit House. They have their own little house, which is a new media-based company out of LA. High-quality esports content, blah, 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 something like that. So to get down to the nitty-gritty, there are 16 players. 10 of them were automatically in the roster. 6 of them, there was a vote going on for a couple days. Players and viewers and random civilians could vote on who they wanted to show up.
Yeah.
So the 10 players that were in, I think were just probably the 10 best players in the world at this point in time.
Yep.
Except Leffen and Hungrybox. Neither one of them showed up.
Huh. Were they invited?
I assume so. I can't tell you why. I can't remember. Unfortunately, I didn't realize how good and how awesome this Smash Summit was going to be until it had started. So I missed everything going up to it.
Yeah.
And then of the 4 days, I watched the last 3.
So you watched 75% of it, which is definitely not a small part of it.
Not really, but there was everything working up to it, like all the voting and everything else with that. I totally missed it.
Yeah.
So I'm a little upset about that. But the top 10 players that got in, let me tell you, were Armada, C9 Mango, Mewtwo King, and PPMD. Obviously, the 4 gods we talk about a lot.
Yep.
Plup, who was from Florida, Lucky, Axe, West Balls, Pew Pew U, and Shroomed. All high-ranked players.
Very cool.
The 6 players that got voted in and won, S2J, S-Fat, Alex19, Swedish Delight, Kage the Warrior, and then Zoo. So, interesting enough, I didn't expect to be voted in.
Mm-hmm.
Kage the Warrior, he plays Ganondorf, which is really fun to watch.
I'm sure.
But I didn't think...
You just wait for him to make that one hit and then they're dead.
I didn't think he was that popular of a player to get voted in like this.
Really?
But he was.
Impressive.
I'll show you who he got eliminated by. And then Alex19 I didn't expect to get in.
Wait, was Ken there?
No, people that these 6 people beat out people like Ken, Drugged Fox, Hugs, Chudat, Wizrobe, Chillin' Dude, Mac D. So,
Okay.
like, I don't know. These people showed up, though. Like, Hugs was there. I saw him.
Mhm.
I saw Mac D. Can't remember how many else people I saw. This is the first time I think I've ever seen them do a 4-person commentary.
Mm-hmm.
So every match had like 4 people commentating. Which was
Wow.
really cool. They did a lot of cool different challenges throughout the week, throughout the 4 days. Now, because I missed the beginning, I kind of missed how everything went.
Mm-hmm.
I was also playing Call of Duty while I was watching, so I didn't have the Smash audio on. I was just watching it while playing Call of Duty.
So you had like maybe 10% attention on Smash?
I mean, I would watch them play, but yeah. Well, this is kind of what I mean when I miss it. Like, I didn't hear all the audio. So I'm definitely going to go back and watch commentary highlights and watch the grand finals again, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there was a $32,000 singles pot. Obviously, that's split up between everyone that's in singles. And because I think there was only 16 people that played, I think everyone got some of the winnings.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But obviously, the top player got like $12,000. I guess that's the largest Melee pot in history. That's what that says.
That doesn't seem...
I read that. I don't think that's true, but that's what I read. Right here on the Smash Summit website, it says 32K plus Melee single spot, the largest in Melee history.
Huh.
So...
Is that for the Smash Summit? It's the biggest one ever?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
I'll give you, I guess, spoilers for the winners. I'm going to tell you who won.
Tell me.
Armada won singles over Mango.
Oh.
Surprisingly, well, that's not surprising. Armada wins everything recently. But Mango gave him a run for his money.
Yeah.
Doubles, Pew Pew U and SFAT won over Armada and Mewtwo King, which is impressive because Armada and Mewtwo King are like the greatest doubles team.
Yeah.
Next to Armada and Android, who is his brother.
You can't break the brotherly bond.
Exactly. I'll touch on what they did, some of the fun games they did. And this kind of touches in, it just kind of looked like people hanging out.
Yeah.
That were all friends, but also played Smash.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, almost at the end of every night, they played Mafia. The game where you sit in a circle, and you have, like, a deck of cards, and whoever gets, like, the kings is the Mafia, and whoever gets the queen is, like, the
nurse, and then you got the investigator,
the detective, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
you got the narrator running the whole game.
Right, you put your head down, and then the Mafia looks up and decides to kill somebody, and then they put your head down, and the queen looks up, or the medic,
the nurse,
and is like, I'm going to save that person.
Yeah. It's a fun game. It's a good group game.
And they streamed all of this, too. And I watched them play Mafia because, one, I love the personalities of people that play Smash, like these people.
Yeah. And
also, it was me and, like, 18,000 other people just watching them play Mafia.
Which I think is a little bit creepy, but they have fans.
Which, yeah.
That's what it is.
Frequently, towards the end of the night, on every night, it was in the top 10 most popular sections in Twitch.
Wow.
Smash Melee.
So Smash Summit.
So, like, Black Ops just came out, so obviously that has a lot of viewers. League of Legends is always up top.
And I'm sure Fallout 4 tomorrow
Heartstone
is going to be up there.
Right. It's probably up there right now.
Probably.
But it was nice to see Smash so high. Like, you didn't even have to scroll down to see Smash, which is nice.
We are very big proponents of Smash on this podcast.
Yes.
So we're glad to see success for the Smash Summit.
Alright, so like I said, there was 4 commentators. The very end, after Grand Finals, they had all 4 gods sit and commentate and just talk to each other.
Yeah.
So Armada, Mewtwo King, PPMD, and Mango.
How was that?
All just sat and, like, took shots at each other.
Yeah.
And it was the greatest thing. I sent you a Snapchat. I don't know if you looked at it yet.
I remember getting it, yes.
They did do a 5-character crew Iron Man battle type thing, to where an Iron Man tournament is if I was going to play you in an Iron Man tournament, I would start at Dr. Mario, and you would start at Roy.
Oh,
you would start with 2 stocks, and you'd go.
Right, we've done
that
before.
We've done that before.
We have.
So if I lost 2 stocks, I would go to Mario. If I lost 2 stocks again, I would go to Luigi. If you lost 2, you go to Marth, and then whoever's next to Marth, which might be Mewtwo or Game & Watch. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember you got on Marth, and then I lost like 10 characters.
That makes sense.
Before I could actually kill you. By that point, I was like, "There's no way I'm going to win this."
So they did that, except it was like all the gods doing it, and they all had like 5-character crew battles instead of just all characters. I think just to get it on because it was like an Iron Man tournament.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
how long does it take?
I don't think that took very long because I don't think they play with 4 stocks. But it's interesting because all the top players like dual main things. So like they'll be good at Armada does Peach and Fox. Mango does Fox and Falco. PPMD, Falco, Marth. Mewtwo King has generally 3.
Yeah.
Marth, Sheik. I want to say Fox, but for some reason I'm blanking on what that one is. But they all chose 5 characters. So it's interesting to see them play with these 5 other characters. These 3 other characters they don't normally play as.
Yeah.
And it's still impressive.
Right.
Obviously, because they're the best in the game.
Right.
But when you see them only use 2 characters all the time, and you're like, oh, they're probably not good at Marth.
Right.
And then they get a Marth out, and you're like, well, dang
Oh,
it.
my gosh. Their worst character is still 10 times better than our best characters.
So did you watch this at all?
I did not.
No.
I just saw the tweets.
I thought about texting you, but I figured you wouldn't watch it anyway.
I was pretty busy this weekend. I'm not going to lie. It was my niece's birthday.
Hey!
She's 5 years old. I was so surprised. I was like, wow. I feel old now.
Why are you surprised? Did she skip from 3 to 5? Or?
I just don't, I don't think about it. And then when her birthdays come around, I'm like, wow, she's already this old. And it blows my mind a little bit. That's okay, because she wrote a song about me, and she said that I'm her favorite person ever in the song.
Wow, that's...
So...
Is that rude?
Not for me.
That might be rude.
It's rude to everybody else. But she's 5 years old, so she's just being brutally honest, You know,
Mewtwo King's characters are Fox, Marth, and Sheik. I totally forgot.
Okay.
I looked it up. I had to know.
Okay.
Awesome. There's awesome. Also, there are these awesome posters that you can buy.
Yeah.
It's at Moxie2D on Twitter. They have posters of Smash things. So there's this awesome Mewtwo King poster. Leffen. My background on my phone right now is this 5 Smash Gods. This person draws a lot of anime.
Yeah, it's anime style based off the people and their characters.
But it's awesome and my favorite. I would like to buy them all, but I can't afford that. Obviously, given our title. Let's talk about Black Ops?
Let's talk about Black Ops.
You want to tell me how excited you are to play Black Ops? Because you were pumped.
I was definitely on the late train for that. Like, going up to it, probably the week before, even a week before the drop, I was, not super excited. I was still on the edge of if I was actually going to get it or not. But as the date approached, I kept thinking, I had a lot of free time that week during the school day, so I was thinking about it.
You fantasized.
I had a lot of time to think, and weigh mull the options, because I only have enough money budgeted for 2 games this month, and I want 3 of them. So I had this dilemma, and I realized that I've been playing RPGs for 3 months now, with one being The Witcher 3, and the other one being Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, as most of our listeners know, because they've been hearing our podcasts. Hopefully. I mean, if you're not, then you need to go back and...
Except for your new people.
Either way, I've been playing lots of RPGs, kind of slower paced, and I decided, you know what, I haven't bought a Call of Duty since Ghosts. And that was definitely a mistake.
Ghosts was awful.
The last one I liked was Black Ops 2. So
Makes sense.
I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And then as each day got closer and closer, I started getting really excited for it. And then when I bought it,
you just blew up.
I knew it was the right decision.
You feel it?
I put it in.
Did you open it and get that new game smell?
I did not.
I always take a second and get that new game smell. It's just plastic, but it smells so good.
I don't know how to react to that. The look on your face makes me think that you've got a problem.
You know how some books have that
True, I do that.
Smell?
I do.
You're like, books smell so good.
Yeah.
New games smell wonderful.
So either way, I popped in the disc.
When you buy Battlefront, smell it.
Okay.
Open it and smell it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You'll enjoy it.
Popped it in, played it. I was pretty happy with my very first round of multiplayer, which the multiplayer installed before the campaign. Usually, I'm the type of person with Call of Duty or any first-person shooter that I'm going to play through the story first.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you kind of get a feel for the guns, all the different guns and how they shoot. And obviously, it's not a perfect reflection of multiplayer, because multiplayer, everything just feels more intense and quicker and everything. But you get you get the mechanics down. If there's any new features, get it down. But it didn't install. It was still downloading. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I played a round of multiplayer, and I will say that my very first round of multiplayer on Black Ops 3, my KD was 2.01, I think 2.03. I was positive. I was more than positive. I think it was at least 2. And I Snapchatted all my friends. I was like, look how good I am at Call of Duty. And then I get one from Tony, and he's 43-2 or something like that.
My first game was 11-10. It was not good.
No. But you've definitely sent me Snapchats of your KD being ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
So either way, I got real excited, and the rest of that night I played with Tony and one of his other friends.
Yep.
And we had some success. There were some rounds that we got destroyed, but most rounds...
I don't remember those.
It happened. Don't you? You remember? We played Domination. So either way, multiplayer was a lot of fun, and I was glad to get back into the intense competition type gaming that I haven't been into for a while, besides Smash, which takes up its own little part of my brain, like a little box in the back corner that I lock up when I'm not playing, because if I let it out, people think I'm weird.
You only play me for like 5 minutes, and then you quit. And I hate it, because I'm ready to go for like 2 hours.
No. See, this is what happens. This is what happened literally last week after the podcast.
So mad.
So we played our warm-up, which is I always pick Link for the warm-up.
Yeah.
And then, I don't remember who you
I
picked.
always either pick Captain Falcon or Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Which are very different.
It is very different. So we were playing, and it went down to the last life, and I believe Tony won that one. And it was close. I think that one, Tony started off like just absolutely destroying me, and I was able to
I remember that.
I was like, wow, I actually came back towards the end here.
Yeah.
But Tony ended up getting the win. One stock at the end. Second game, I picked my classic main, my first love, which is Fox.
My main man, Fox.
Star Fox. And Tony, who did you use again?
I used Marth.
And he used his guy, Marth.
Marth was my guy.
Marth is his guy. And we played around, and I came out on top.
You destroyed me.
I did. And I felt really proud of myself. So then he's like, let's play again. And I switched to Falco, I think.
Switched freaking characters.
And then...
You have to run it back.
Essentially what I did...
You have to run it back. If someone asks you to run it back, you run it back.
I don't have to. He wanted to play me as Fox again because he hates it when I leave and I have a positive game.
I don't...
He has to destroy me with all the characters I use or else he's not satisfied.
I don't quit until I win. I cannot leave on a loss.
You did. You did win.
No.
You won the next 4 games in a row.
That wasn't enough. Because then we played Fox Marth again, and you beat me again.
He's not okay with it just being just letting me have a Fox victory.
I can't...
if I'm allowed to have a victory, it should be with Fox.
I can't...
Or maybe with Falco.
I can't lose with my best character, who I thought was my best character, to your best character.
Yes, you can.
It's unfair. I think you even played on Final Destination, which is better for Marth.
Dude, you know me and platforms don't get along. You know Final Destination's my jam. I can't... It's those platforms, man. They get in the way.
My Wi-Fi name is 1v1 on FD, which is 1v1 on Final Destination.
Which is what we do all the time. So, I don't know what this has to do with Black Ops 3.
We're Black Ops, but
either way, multiplayer was a lot of fun on Black Ops 3.
So, you left. You literally left. You beat me as Fox, and you're like, I'm not going to play anymore. I'm like, I'm going to kill you.
I didn't end it with a victory with Fox. We played a couple more rounds, then you're like, you have to play me again. I was like, no, I think I'm done. And I just left. And I had the look on your face. You looked so disrespected. It was so nice. I loved it.
My wife cooked you dinner?
She
and
did.
You disrespect me in my own house?
Your wife does not care one little bit about your Smash pride.
She cheers against me consistently.
She does. We had a good trivia night, though. That was fun.
Anyway, Black Ops?
So,
3.
I'd like to move on to the part of Black Ops that I have the most experience with at this point. And...
Well... I have the least experience. We're talking about campaign.
Okay.
I have the least experience. So I'll go first.
Okay.
And then you'll talk about it, and you won't spoil it for me because I haven't gotten there yet.
Dang it! I want to spoil it so bad.
Well, suck it. Black Ops 3. First thing I noticed, there's a graphic content warning again, which I don't think has been in Call of Duty for a while. I could be wrong. It's just one of those things where it's like,
since the Black Ops,
there's blood.
Was it Black Ops 2? Was the one, or was Black Ops 1 that had the walkthrough?
Modern Warfare 2. The Modern Warfare 2 is the last one I remember that they had a graphic content warning. But they brought the gore back in this one, like in multiplayer.
Oh yeah,
just literally yesterday, or maybe even today, I saw a foot, like half of a leg and a boot on a multiplayer map, just there. From something blew up.
I switched my specialist class to the one with the grenade launcher, and I think you heard my reaction, because at that point I was reacting to every single thing that was happening during the game.
You're hyped.
I got the grenade launcher, and I walked around the corner, and this guy came at me, and I hit him with the grenade, and he literally blew into pieces.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then I did it 6 more times in a row, and I was going, I was on a rampage, and then it was over. But, yeah, gore?
It's very gory.
It is gory.
War That War had really good gore. You'd shoot someone with that sniper rifle.
That game was dark.
Their arm would blow up.
That game was dark.
Yeah.
Just the whole color scheme of that game.
Yeah.
It's like grayscale.
Yep. Almost so dark.
Has that Skyrim feel to it.
Gray Rim, as one of my friends calls it.
Yes.
there was an update the day after release, a little small update. There was a playlist change. You just have to back out of the multiplayer, go back into it. So they updated things really quickly. But specifically campaign, you, again, because the multiplayer downloaded first, well, while I was waiting for the multiplayer to install, I was playing the free run mode, which is just 4 levels where you run through and you practice your like wall running things, and it's a time trial type thing. I don't know if you tried it or not.
I haven't yet. I need to use it though.
I found it interesting.
My mobility.
It was fun. I would do it again. I played that while I waited for multiplayer, and again, I want to play campaign at least a little bit before I go and play multiplayer. And Call of Duty always says is really good at making you want to play like 1 or 2 levels, and then they always put a break in. So I know I can play like 1 or 2 levels, then they'll do something that just completely makes me lose interest, and I'll go play multiplayer, which is fine. But the campaign, the first level, very reminiscent, I guess, spoilers for the first level, but it was very reminiscent of Modern Warfare 2, because the first thing you do in this level is you blow up a plane. You're on this like ground control center. You take laser turrets and you aim at this plane that you have told has clearance for landing. And then the plane gets a notification. Is like, hey, listen, these laser guns are aimed at me. What's going on? And you're down at the control center.
Spoilers,
you're like,
by the way.
You're like, it must be a malfunction on your end. Boom, it blows up. And now I'm like, why did I just blow up this plane? I don't know if I'm a good guy. I don't know if I'm a bad guy. What's going on right now? And that was very reminiscent of the terminal level on Modern Warfare 2, which is
definitely different. Definitely different, because at least when you look at your co-conspirators in the first mission of this game, they don't look like terrorists.
There's only one guy. It's only the one other guy that you see.
And he looks like he looks like a soldier.
Yeah.
And because the other guys, they look like dudes with like hoodies and like flak jackets on.
I don't know. But you don't really see the enemies before you blow up the plane. So you're literally just blowing up the plane without knowing anything. So I'm like, what's going on?
And even the picture that's on the screen, like the screen on the screen, the screen in the game, is like just an outline of the plane.
Just right.
And you can't tell.
I'm like, what's
going
on?
It almost looks like a commercial plane.
Yeah.
Or
So
at least
why am I blowing this stuff up? Later on, you find out that they're evil, I guess. They kind of just threw that in there. There's on the first level, there's this dark section where all the lights get burnt out for some reason, and you have this DNI thing in the back of your head. Actually, not in the first level. You have this night vision type thing.
Yeah.
So all the enemies can't see you at all, and you can see them just fine.
Yeah.
And I just literally just ran up and like meleeed all of them.
Yeah.
Like I shot one of them. I'm like, wait a second, they can't see me. I'm just going to punch them all in the back of the head, which I found extremely entertaining.
You disgusting person.
What?
I'm just kidding. That's what people would say. I enjoyed punching them in the back of the head.
That was fun. There's a lot of AI teammates in this very first one. There's like 6 team members you're with.
Yeah, that's not normal.
It's probably not normal, but I saw aspects of where the enemies wouldn't target my teammates.
And they only target you.
Right, where the teammate was literally like in front of an enemy that was standing on top of a box.
Yeah.
And he didn't shoot him at all. It reminded me of Ellie from The Last of Us. She never gets attacked by anything.
Yeah. And she never triggers anybody seeing you either.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
So it was very reminiscent of that. I'm like, well, that's probably one of the downfalls of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
They kind of bring that back here for Black Ops 3.
Yeah, no, and I would say I'm much further along in the campaign, and there are other missions where there's lots of guys on your side, and if you're out in the open, all of them shoot at you. Like even if there's like your ally right in front of them, they will almost always shoot right at you.
Yeah,
which is really annoying. I would say it's for sure like every single time you're out in the open, but there have been cases where like I'll start shooting like some guy and then he'll automatically turn around, like he'll stop engaging everybody around him and just shoot me, and then like try and follow me around and like just like solely try and kill me instead of the 50 other guys or 20 other guys that are there shooting too. So classic AI things, you know, it happens.
There's this and the other Call of Duty games, there's a lot of characters, names of characters, and it doesn't. There's too many I don't care about them. That's what I'm trying to say. There's one character I care about in Black Ops, and not in Black Ops, in Call of Duty, and it is Brooklyn from Call of Duty 2, Big Red 1.
That's so long ago.
He gets blown up by an artillery on like the last level, and he was the humor of the whole game. He was a really good guy.
Yeah.
He got blown up, and I was so upset.
That's funny.
So upset that I still remember his name. Everyone else, I'm just I don't care about you. Why do I care about you? Like, there's too many names, too many things to care about. Also, I don't take the campaign very seriously.
Yeah.
As you probably shouldn't.
I've enjoyed the campaign.
They are fun, but I'm not like, this is so good. This is like The Last of Us. This is like The Witcher. And I care so much about this.
Right, but it's...
I'm not going to talk about it after I'm done, except for now.
This is a more classic first-person shooter, though. Like, most first-person shooters aren't that in-depth as, like... The Last of Us isn't a first-person shooter.
Right.
It's not even... It's designed to be almost like a story, and it's obviously third-person. So that I don't think we can really compare that. I think the only other things you compare it to would be like Battlefield Bad Company,
which is also funny.
Which is also hilarious. Like, I love some of the characters on that.
What, can you tell me their names?
I can't remember. See? I remember there was a funny guy, and they were like looking for gold.
Is his name Brooklyn?
No,
because he died.
I don't know. I think the campaign for this Call of Duty is much better than the campaigns of previous Call of Duties. I've really been enjoying some of the themes that they've been bringing.
Hold on. You want to talk about the brutality? Specifically at the end of the first level?
Oh, gosh. This game is not for the faint of heart. I will just say that. Well, I'll say more.
I'll just say that. Okay, my turn.
Just kidding. I'm going to keep talking. So you're fighting through this level. You blow up the plane. You have to try and get out of the facility that you just took over, like snuck into to blow up this plane. Yeah. And as you're about to get taken away in this helicopter, you get blown back, like from a concussion, something. Either way, you got blown back, and this robot, which this is like a new enemy for Call of Duty.
It's an AI. It's an AI robot.
AI robot walks up and starts punching you, and then you're like on the ground, and then you try and like punch him back, and he like grabs your arm and literally like karate chops it off.
Yeah.
And then you just like looking at the stump of your arm with blood spurting out.
Right.
And then it grabs punches you a little bit more, and then grabs your other arm and chops that off.
No, I don't think it does. I think it breaks it.
Oh, okay. It definitely breaks one of the legs.
You kick it, and he literally like pulls the leg out of the socket and like throws it to the side. I'm like,
it was quite gory, I would say.
But I think that's how the campaign starts. Because then after that, you get these genetic modifiers, and you get this DNA system.
You become like a cyborg almost. Yeah.
So I think that's the point of the game. But it's that's really gory, which is fun.
And there are other parts too. I'm not going to spoil them because Tony hasn't gotten there yet. But there are other points in the game or in the campaign that just kind of takes it into the step of mature. Like, it is rated M, and Call of Duty usually are. Yeah. But sometimes it's just that way because you shoot people, and it's not because it's gory, not because it's an adult game. I would say.
Yeah, it's on the tame level of mature most Call of Duties.
This one, I would say, some of the campaign scenes that you see are going to be more on the adult side of the mature. Like, it is actually mature.
Halo 5 is rated teen.
Really?
No longer M.
Really?
The first Halo game to be rated teen, I think.
Why?
I think they took the blood out.
Huh.
Which is weird.
That is weird.
Speaking of very gory things, there's a really gory scene in Metal Gear Solid 5, which I don't think you've gone to yet.
Probably not.
I don't...
You remember what mission number?
No. I can... If you would know what it was, you literally shoot a guy's limbs off with a shotgun at close range.
I don't like it.
And each limb takes like 2 or 3 shots.
Gross.
And I think you have to pull the trigger for every shot.
Wow. That's nasty.
So like this guy's like laying on the ground or whatever, and like the character's standing over him, and it's like a pump action shotgun. So you shoot it once, and like you shoot him in the arm, and it's not off yet. So you pump it again, and you have to shoot him again, and you don't see it from the person on the ground's perspective, I don't think, but you see it from the ground a little bit away from him. So you're looking up, kind of at the shotgun that's shooting at this guy. I'm like, well, this is intense.
That's rough.
I think that's right at the end of chapter 1.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about halfway there.
So, that's gory.
So this campaign is pretty gory. There are certain parts where you see atrocities taking place, or just like the end of a character, and almost every time it's pretty gory. But I would say that I know one of your critiques so far is that there are lots of characters and you don't really feel close to any of them. But I would counter that by saying that at my point in the campaign, I feel connected to 2 characters. Like I kind of like all those characters that you meet at the beginning. Like they are in the campaign. Yeah. But they are very not main. They kind of do their own thing. Like really, over the course of the missions, you have two people that you're with. Kane and what's his name? Hendrix. Kane and Hendrix. Hendrix is the guy who got on the helicopter.
Hendrix is the guy that blew up the plane.
Yes.
The very first character you see.
So he is one of the main characters, and then this chick named Kane.
Oh, it's a girl.
Yeah. And so, like, those are the 2 people that you interact with on every single mission, and you're doing everything with. So I feel, and, like, you kind of get to know their personalities, and I don't want to ruin some of the themes of the game, so I'm not going to go into detail with the things that they're dealing with.
Do you think there's more to it than just shooting things? Do you think there's something you can take away from it?
I mean, within this, there's not, like, some greater issue of, like, humanity. Yeah. Like, I don't think it's on that level. But I do think that there are some themes that within the game are more than just you shooting people. There's some character progression and some things that are going on that arc throughout all of the stories, and you see it as a progression happening, and you know that over the top of everything that you're doing, just like immediately objective wise, is going to come to a head, and you're going to have to deal with that too. So there is some characterization or some growth in the characters, and kind of some twists and turns. Black Ops is pretty good at.
You think it's worthwhile campaign?
I would say it's worth it. It's worth at least one playthrough. Yeah. I would say so. And I usually go back and play through campaigns multiple times. Not in the same month usually. Nice. Usually what it is like I haven't played a game in a while and I'm kind of bored, so I'll just play through the Call of Duty campaign again. So this is definitely one I'll probably revisit. I think part of it, too, I've been very immersed in the game as well because I've been wearing my headset, which I don't always do when I play games. And when I've been playing, I've only been doing that as well, which is also another big thing.
It's easy to zone in. It's easy to focus when you have the headset on.
The thing is, though, it does hurt my ears because I've got little ears and they kind of just like poke out and they hit it, and that puts pressure on it.
Yeah, big ears.
Yeah, dude. They hurt. Like when I took off my headset to come over here, my ears hurt.
So you should be thanking me.
I should.
But you won't.
I'm not going to. So anyway, I like the campaign, and I would say that it so far has been very enjoyable, and I would suggest all of you to play that.
I am very much enjoying the multiplayer.
Yes.
As we have discussed beforehand, I am very competitive.
He's the most competitive person in my life.
I don't know if that's true.
That is...
Fine, it's true.
That's
all right,
completely
I win.
And you're happy that you won, because that's what you love.
So, I'm very competitive. I also like fast-paced games. I also like playing with my friends. So when all 3 of those things go together, I very much enjoy that. I like games where I can be better than other people, either on my own team or on other teams. That also happens in Call of Duty. That happens in Destiny. That happens in a lot of first-person shooters. For whatever reason, I am fairly decent at first-person shooters. Yep. I am generally number 1 or number 2 in a lobby. So Call of Duty, that's what I get out of Call of Duty. Is that I can play, and I can be good, I can be better than other people, and I enjoy that, and I get to play with my friends. Yeah. So even if it wasn't Call of Duty and we were playing something else, I would still enjoy that. But a lot of people say, oh, you play Call of Duty, that sucks. Call of Duty sucks. I'm like, listen, I play it because I enjoy it, because of all these other factors I just listed. Multiplayer has been a lot of fun. I had Friday off of work, luckily. So the first day it launched, I went out and got it at midnight on Thursday night. But because of my work schedule, I generally wake up. I have to be at work at like 6 or 7. So I slept in a little bit, got up at 8, played Call of Duty all day. I checked my playtime at the end of the day, and I had like 8 hours and 14 minutes playing.
It's a full day of work?
It is. I got 2 gold guns on the very first day. I'm looking for that diamond camo for the assault rifles.
There you go.
I've only used 4 guns in multiplayer. They're all assault rifles. I have 3 of them gold. I'm working on my 4th right now.
Nice.
the KN-44, the Havoc, the HVK, I call it the Havoc,
Yeah.
the Man of War, all are gold. I'm working on the Shiva right now. To get a gun gold, you have to get 100 headshots with it first, and then there's other things to get other camos. There's one where you have to get 50 kills with 5 attachments on it, 5 attachments and an optic, which essentially means all attachments, no perks, no secondaries, no equipment.
Yeah.
There's one where you have to get 50 kills with no attachments, so you use perks, obviously the opposite.
I hate that.
There's one where you have to get 5 bloodthirsty medals with only that weapon, so 5 kill streaks. There's the hardest one I had to get is the 10 long shots, because these maps are large, but there's not a lot of long sight lines.
Right.
And even when they are, you can't guarantee that someone's going to come down that sight line and you can kill them. So specifically with the Havoc and the KN-44, the Havoc specifically
is really hard to do.
Very fast. It's the highest fire rate in the whole assault rifles class.
Yeah, but it has low damage.
Right. So that means that at range, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So when I got my 10th kill with that, I was so happy. Because the long shots is always the last one I have to get gold. But I'm enjoying it. I haven't used any SMGs yet. I'm going to. I think after I get my assault rifles diamond, I'm going to try shotguns. After that, that's the plan. Well, things. The very first night or the second night, we had a party of like 5 or 6 people playing.
Was that when I was playing?
I don't think so, because we got to a point where we're all just wanted to have fun and like annoy the other team.
Yeah.
So we'd all group together on like a top of an air conditioner in team deathmatch and just wait for the other team to find us. And for whatever reason, we would always win.
That is awesome.
Like every once in a while, they'd blow us all up and get like a 6-piece, but we'd all just congregate back on the air conditioner and wait for everyone to come back, and then we just pick them all off one by one.
That's
and
awesome.
we'd win. There was a time where we only did pistols only, which is what you like to do.
I love it. We call it James Bonding.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the multiplayer's been a lot of fun. I know it's only been out for a little bit. I don't know how long this is going to last, but so far we're both going to buy Fallout 4. You brought up the interesting point of we should probably just wait until the price drops,
because it's an RPG, and that's what it does.
It's an RPG. Price drops.
There's no multiplayer aspect to it, so you're not going to miss out on the huge community aspect of it. So.
The only thing that would be a problem is that I'm allowing gaming things, so they could be spoilers.
Right.
But there's no way I'm going to be playing Fallout 4 fast enough to avoid the spoilers anyway. So
yeah, and that's what it boils down to too. Like right now, I've had 2 opportunities really the same time into Call of Duty, and I'm not even close to done with that game yet. And I could go out tonight and wait for the midnight release and do the whole thing, but I guess I can't because I didn't pre-order it. But
and you didn't budget for it.
And I have to make a choice. So I'm going to pump that to future me. That's what I like to do when it comes to decisions like this. And I'm just going to play Call of Duty until I get tired of it. And then once I'm tired of it, I'll buy another game.
Which is what you're going to do when you get home. We're going to play together.
We are. I'm excited to go home and play.
Justin and I we played when Destiny first came out back in 2014.
We played a lot together.
We played a lot of Destiny together, and that was a lot of fun.
Quite a bit, actually.
But again, the last first-person shooter I played was Destiny around March time.
Yeah.
So now it's November. That's a good 6 months where I haven't played a first-person shooter. I played a lot of RPGs, and like I said, I'm a competitive person. I like to win. I like to dominate people. I like to flex on them a little bit. Can't do that on RPG. So I've been waiting for something where I can do that. And Black Ops has given me that vehicle of opportunity to do that.
And I really did enjoy Destiny. But the campaign of this game is so much more active and also tells a complete story.
Yeah.
As compared to Destiny, where you literally have no idea. There's like no backstory to half the stuff. Like you have to use the stupid Grimoire cards, which I was just so annoyed by that. So it's nice that it's like a complete story. And it's not... The focus of this is not PvE. Like, the campaign, obviously, is, but there's no grinding. It's so nice that I'm not grinding.
Yeah. The first 6 months of Destiny was just grind.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
And it was... raids were fun. Raids are still fun. But beyond that, I've been burnt out of Destiny for a while.
We didn't talk about zombies at all. That's because I don't ever play zombies.
I played 2 rounds of zombies today, and both times my internet was freaking out, and I was like glitching all over the screen. So I was like no help to my 2 friends I was playing with. So I don't really have a good report because I didn't have a good experience with it because of technology.
I don't like zombies because you can try really hard and you can play and you get to round 30 or whatever, and then you die and you have to reset at round 1. And I was like, I don't want to do that all over again.
But isn't that exactly what you do with prestiging?
No, because in prestiging, whether I'm level 1 or level 55, I can still kill 45 people in a match.
And you can still get to level 30 in a match.
Yeah.
Just gotta think about it like a match.
It's not the same.
It is.
I don't get anything
It's
out of
essentially the same.
I don't get anything out of zombies. If I level
Except
up,
for PvE. That's the difference.
Yeah, if I level up and if I prestige and level up, then I get new guns I haven't used before. Because right now I'm at level 50. I've only used 4 guns.
True.
So if I prestige,
I didn't even thought about approaching it that way. Like you prestige and then you use a different gun from each like class.
Yeah.
Because usually I just like play through it. Sometimes I'll prestige like once just so I can say I did it. But usually I'll find like a couple guns and I'll only use those like 3 guns, and that's it.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
I never thought about switching it up.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, that's what we got so far.
That's everything in Black Ops 3 so far.
That's where we're at with that game. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about in the future.
Yep.
But if you wouldn't mind, we would love it if you would go to iTunes right now, give us 5 stars, write a little review, comment on us, saying like how much you love our voices and you think we're super cool. That'd be awesome.
Sure.
Or if you would like to interact with us, send us an email, or as Tony would say, a electronic letter to underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
And you can always tweet at us, follow us on Twitter at UPGamersPodcast.
Yep. We're on SoundCloud, Underpaid Gamers Podcast. Just look for us there. We're on Stitcher. Found out today, if you just Google Underpaid Gamers Podcast, our Stitcher link is the first one that shows up.
There it is.
So if you're having trouble finding us, just Google our name. We're also on IGN forums, again, as Underpaid Gamers.
So occasionally you might see us post on there, so feel free to interact with us there.
We are creating a community on SoundCloud. We are following people. We are commenting. We are responding to comments.
Yeah.
We're trying real hard to create this community. So
yeah, we're trying to really build it up, and we've been listening to a lot of other podcasts over similar things. Some that come to mind, Games and Gaming Podcast is one I listened to today, which had a really cool thing about BlizzCon, which I reposted on our profile page, so feel free to check that out if you're interested in any Blizzard game. On top of that, I know we have the Nth Cast, has lots of different podcasts, one of them being one over Once Upon a Time. They have one about The Walking Dead. They have a ton of stuff, so check them out. Beyond that, I can't think. I think those are the only ones I listened to today. Geekly Podcast is another one, which we follow and we've talked to before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just feed into the community. Thanks for listening. Listen to us next week, about the same time, same place.
Yep. We will see you later.